Welcome back, Kaiju Wrecking Crew. Your hosts Spotted Menace and Daria found themselves in Atlanta. That's right, the HEELKAIJU podcast is on the road, and they have a lot in store for you, so stay tuned.
We don't know where this monster came from. All we know is that he's angry, and that he is here to destroy.
You better watch your step, a crush warning is now in effect. Coming through, no regrets, the city's erect. Total devastation, the mission and its statement. Watching body y'all come with villainy for entertainment. We'll take a basic riding in the dirt, break his back and laugh at him with a smirk. Throw across the skyline, world champ 2 times. He's got the microphone, sit back and listen up. HEELKAIJU Radio, pull a chair and turn this shit up.
Welcome back, everybody, to the HEELKAIJU podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Spotted Menace, of course, sitting right next to my sister, Daria. Say hello, Daria.
Hello.
We got our usual crew here today, plus one, with Danny, KD, and our new initiate into the HEELKAIJU crew. Say what's up, Mage.
Hey, how you guys doing tonight? Good to be here.
Yeah, I'm hot, I'm sweaty, I'm annoyed. So before we actually got started, we had a little bit of an adventure. As everybody knows, Hurricane Irma is hitting up Florida, and there's a lot of people from Florida displaced up here. And I don't know if the two might be correlated with each other, but we're leaving tomorrow, and I like to fill up as close to the time that we have to leave. And my dad will probably whoop my ass, up in heaven, but I let it go down below a quarter tank, which I never usually do, but whatever. I'm moving around a lot. I just wasn't thinking about gas. So I get down to where it's like about 45 miles left of charge. And I try to hit a gas station near the hotel where we're recording right now down here in Atlanta. Oh yeah, by the way, we're in Atlanta. Yay. And 1 BP, all of the gas nozzles got bags on them, each and every single one of them. Okay, that's happened to me before, and there's been no issue. So just go to the nearest gas station about 1.5 miles away, another BP, with I want to say 25 gas stalls. Every single one of them bagged up. We're panicking because it's right around 8 o'clock, and no, my bad, right around 8:40, and we're trying to rush to the hotel so we can get in this recording. And we had to go to the Chevron, but the whole time I'm like, man, it'd be real messed up if I got 30 miles of charge. We're over 400 miles away from home, and I can't get no gas because there's a shortage. I'd have been real. I couldn't be mad at the circumstance. I could just be mad at myself. But this is how much we love our Kaiju Wrecking Crew, how much we love our listeners out there. You see, we make a way out of no way. That's how we work.
I really like that slogan. I'm gonna have to write that down.
You know what? I can't take credit for that because that's I gotta owe that up to our Southern gospel upbringing because I've heard that way too many times.
That's damn sensible upbringing, if you ask me. I like it. It's positive.
Yeah, we gotta make a way out of no way. But tonight we got a pretty decent show out there. Even though we're kind of lo-fi, don't got our mics, don't got all of these high-tech equipment. We are speaking to you through a webcam microphone. That's how much we love y'all. That's how much we love y'all. But before we get started, my sister Daria, right here, had herself a little celebrity encounter.
Oh, I did. Oh my God. And I was so tickled pink.
Okay, before she starts, I've known my sister. How old am I?
31.
I'm 31 years old. I've known her for 31 years without a single break. And I don't think I've ever seen her this just taken aback and this blissful in my life. But go ahead, tell your story.
Okay. So do you guys watch Bravo Station?
I think I have actually. Yeah.
No.
No. Okay. Do you watch Southern Charm Savannah? It's a new show.
Oh no, of course not.
Oh, but you do know Southern Charm Charleston, right?
Oh,
Yes, I've heard of that.
No,
Danny.
I couldn't know less.
Well, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so anyways, I watch the Southern Charm Charleston and Savannah. Okay. So we're staying at the W, and we go up to the rooftop bar. We're having a drink, and I see two people walk in. So I go to my cousin Toya, and I said, I know you don't watch the same show that I watch, but those two girls over there look exactly like the girls from the Southern Charm Savannah.
Now, pause. Before we go on, we need to tell you who our cousin Toya is. Our cousin Toya, how do I explain her?
Oh, a bunch of fun.
She is a firecracker.
Yes.
I know the type very well.
I swear, like, Mage, if you ever manage to hang, one of these days it's going to happen. Chances are, if you make it down to Chicago in December, I should say, if you manage to make it, chances are she might make an appearance, and you'll know immediately who she is.
I bet you I would, and I think I would have a blast with her.
Oh my God, you would. She would keep your stomach hurting.
So my sister was willing to let this encounter slide by. She's willing to look away from a distance. It's like, I think I know those two, and leave it at that. And if she did that, there wouldn't have been much of an encounter. It'd just be like, okay, well, they just walk off. They some nice, Hollywood-ish looking people coming from Savannah, Georgia, trying to escape the flooding. But it's nothing new. Toya, on the other hand, excuse me, girl.
Yes, she did. She asked him to come over, and she was like, okay, go ahead and ask your question. So I asked them, and I said, okay, are you Catherine and Hannah from Southern Charm, Savannah? Catherine took her sunglasses off shyly and quietly went, yes, I am. I was like, oh my God, I knew it.
That is an amazing bit of serendipity right there.
So her boyfriend, Lyle, came from the bathroom. And of course, my cousin is like, she loves pictures. And she was like, okay, you have to go take a picture. You have to go take a picture. So her boyfriend, Lyle, Catherine's boyfriend, comes out the bathroom and says, if you gulp your drink in one drink, you can have a picture. Me stupidly gulped my drink. They were so mad at him.
Okay, so we're drinking these lemon drops, and they're pretty tasty. They're not very alcoholic. They got a little sugar on the rim. Now, me, I'm tossing them back because I got the metabolism that I could go through it without worry. And the other girls is our cousin Toya, her friend who happens to be named Toya as well, and my sister. They're all nursing it. Lyle comes out and tells her this. I kid you not. I look away for a second and I turn back to her. She's got her glass guzzling down and the other hand under her chin, trying to catch all the droplets of lemon drop pouring down the sides of her mouth.
So I can take this picture. They were so mad at him. They were like, why would you do that? Lyle is so stupid. I was like, oh my God.
So throughout all of this, they actually stayed with us for a little bit longer.
Good time. Like, I got Hannah's number. Toya has Hannah's number. It was amazing.
That's cool.
Now, what makes this even funnier, and this is why I love my sister, later on in the evening, I left and they went to the club. They went to, what's it called?
Compound.
The club Compound, which, I kind of want to give it a shot whenever FWA comes back around in April. Keep an eye on that. But the compound down in right around Buckhead, where we are right now, and there that night were a few hip hop acts. Now she knows who Southern Charm Savannah is, but like the whole time I'm like, oh wow, y'all going to the compound? This is who they got headlining. They got Cardi B, the Migos, and all these other names. And she's like, who?
Wait, you don't even know Cardi? You don't know Cardi B?
No, I know Cardi B.
You don't know Migos?
I know. I do not know Migos.
I was gonna say Cardi B is like the great.
Oh yeah, I watch Love and Hip Hop, so I know Cardi B.
Reality show Venn diagram.
Yes.
I watch that. I know she is. The Migos, I have no clue.
Really?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we are.
That's
where we are.
That's my sister.
So yeah, I'm a dork in the dork club.
Do you know Bad and Bougie?
No.
Yeah, no.
You keep naming. I don't know.
Have you rapped it to her, D?
No,
I will
it
not.
won't matter.
D, come on, rap it to her.
I mean, even Mauro Ronaldo knows who Migos is.
Well,
He knows who Cardi B is too.
That's because Mauro is like, a G. I can't take away his street cred. He's got it in spades.
Moro, I was watching a random episode of NXT, and Moro was like, just like new rapper Cardi B, she's making her bloody moves. And I was like,
He would have brought up a little Yachty reference if he was around.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I know about Lil Tugboat. I'm aware of Lil Tugboat.
Jesus,
I know who he is.
It's Tugboat Mania, Moggle.
Wait, we have to come up with new rappers and see if your sister knows them. Daria, this is a new game.
You know what? We got to say that for the next episode. We got to see if she can pick out which one is an actual rapper and one we just made up on the spot.
Oh my god! So we're just gonna embarrass me?
Now we're in for
That's a good idea.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. From episode 6 on, we're gonna have one of those segments. It's like, who is Little Maserati?
Is this a rapper or a character in the hit show Kaiju?
I'm a true nerd. I don't know.
She's a dork, and I love her for it. I'm
a true nerd. I am.
Yeah, she really went from like being a mundane like you, Danny, to being this in about a year and some change.
A mundane?
You know what I mean.
I think I do, but that just sounds so offensive.
That's your word?
A mundane.
I shouldn't use it. I shouldn't use it with the hard N.
You have to say a I can't even think of like a rap. I would say. All right, so our word is Monday. If you say mundane, that's racist.
Oh snap! All right, we gotta. Once that situation handles itself with Pewds, we'll talk about that next week.
Oh jeez!
My God. Touching on that one's gonna be unpacking a giant box of awful.
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
But I can't believe that. Well, I mean, I can believe it, but it was like,
yeah. We'll save that. We'll save that for next week when we are actually in our own spot and can unpack that without feeling like we're getting pushed down the stairs or something. But anyway, let's get officially started. So what's going on in Raw? Since we are talking wrestling and dorky stuff, aside from just Southern Charm Savannah and her not knowing who the Migos are. We do talk some wrestling. Right now we've got a little program going between Roman Reigns and John Cena. Their match is set for No Mercy. The problem is, I think that there is a problem with this pairing right now for some reason. It just doesn't seem to hit to me, in my opinion. And honestly, I'm kind of curious about how you guys feel about this little team up, this little matchup between Cena and Reigns.
Well, I mean, it just seems this is like a problem with John Cena's been here before, but like it's incredibly showing through of Roman Reigns how like he doesn't have the strength of personality to be a verbal combatant with John Cena.
That's an excellent point.
And it's like, and he's trying to do it, which makes it even more annoying. Like 2 weeks now, he hasn't hit him. And it's like, I mean, rather than letting John Cena go to school on him, basically, for those 2 weeks, he should have punched him in the mouth.
You talk, you gotta walk the walk if you talk the talk, and he's never really walked the walk. It's almost like he's I really don't want to say scared of Cena, because who the hell is scared of Cena? But like there's some kind of something like holding him back, and it's not looking pretty.
It really isn't, and you really kind of hit on it because he's falling back.
Did I hit on it right, or
you hit on it right? Yeah, at least in this aspect, because there are moments where it feels like this is such a rehash done by better workers on the mic.
Yeah, you know what? It feels like a rehash of like other feuds going back into like WWE history. It's like the Star Wars Episode 7 of battle arcs here. Like it's just playing it safe.
That's right.
Yeah, it's just playing it safe with stuff we already know.
And here's the thing: you don't even have to go that far back into history, because just like we're talking months here. You had AJ Styles had one with he's the one who started it. When he turned heel, went after Cena, hit up on these notes of him being part-timer and shoveling dirt on talent, and I'm the real guy that, you know, deserves to have your spot because you've been here too long. Then The Miz did it, and like each of them did it in their own way, despite the fact that The Miz and AJ Styles had pretty much the exact same beefs with John Cena.
It was personality.
Yes.
Yeah, it's always been like those two can compete. Like they can hold up. AJ can hold up. Miz can hold up. I mean, Punk was even doing this shtick back when, like, you know, it was him versus Cena. All of them.
You know what? That's the one that jumps immediately to mind now that you mention it. And I'm sorry to talk over you, but it's absolutely just it's Punk Cena 2.0.
Or even like Cena Rock. Like I mean, this is basically Cena Rock too. I mean, it's just like, you know, Cena's supposed to be the Rock in this case, and, you know, Roman's supposed to be, you know, Cena, but he obviously cannot do it. Like he can't stand toe to toe with anyone. He doesn't have the chops to do this. He's not a verbal person. That's the problem. I mean, and they're playing him up as a verbal.
Yeah, and that's kind of what messes up his character. And that's what people look at, because even with me being new to wrestling, when Dee and I went to Raw a couple weeks ago, I mean, John Cena was killing it, but Roman Reigns, it was like, oh, come on! Like, how can I help you pull it out?
We wanted so much to root for Roman Reigns, but we couldn't. Like here's the thing. So when Roman Reigns beat The Undertaker, we all saw it coming. We knew it was going to happen. We knew he was going to quote unquote retire Taker, because we still don't know where he is in all of this right now, if he's ever coming back or not. But at this point, he's retired. When that happened, we knew all of the wrestling world would just rain down hate on him. And you know how he handled that? He literally stood in the middle of the ring, let the boos come down, and just said 4 words: "It's my yard now."
Yep.
That's all he needed to say. Like, that was perfect. It was like, that's the character Roman desperately was missing for all these years, where they've been trying to make him comedic and personable and, like, you know, fun, relatable, silly dad with jokes about tater tots, which I guess want to strangle whoever wrote that.
Yeah. he works better as a speak softly, carry a big stick kind of character.
He's an assassin character. That's what he basically is. He doesn't need to be talking. He's not Austin. He's not Rock. He's not even a Hogan. He doesn't need to talk.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it. And I want to also touch on something else that kind of makes this feud feel second rate, is the fact that this is happening on a No Mercy. And this is a WrestleMania feud.
Now, I'm going to come at you with that one. I don't think that, like, you know, everything needs to be saved for WrestleMania. I think it's actually smart. I mean, and the ratings going up has been proving that point.
Okay.
Not have like basically having quote unquote throwaway pay-per-views makes it like, why am I watching Raw? Why am I doing any of this when none of this is going to matter in a month? It's like, I like the idea of a continuing build. It was something from the Attitude Era that felt like, every episode's important. Every pay-per-view is important because things are going to move forward. I like that idea. And it's like, I like that No Mercy is kind of in that direction. I mean, you're getting like everybody built up now instead of waiting 8 months.
So in your eyes, this is basically a throwback to Attitude Era, aside from the much stronger mic work coming from both competitors.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is a smarter direction than basically having, like, why bother watching No Mercy when nothing done here is going to matter. I like the idea of, like, we're getting Brock versus Braun now. We're getting Cena versus Roman right now instead of waiting months and months and dragging out storylines and everything else. It's like we're getting some of that payoff that we should, like, we deserve. I mean, I hate being that selfish little fanboy, but I mean, it's like, okay. It's like not everything needs to take its sweet ass time.
I'll give you that.
Pacing, speed, what's that?
Yeah. I mean, would you want to be subjected to, like, 8 months of Roman versus Cena teasing and, like, them having a tag team championship run? And it's like, can they work together, Moggle? And it's like all that nonsense, or do you want to be like, let's just get to it already?
You know what? You bring up a fair point. You bring up a pretty fair point. So I can't hate on that. So well, I'm just hoping that they find their stride sometime in the very near future, because we only have one more Raw before No Mercy, correct?
I think that's right. Yeah,
that sounds about right.
So they have one more show to make you, like, as you say, the ratings have been up. People have been caring about this, but, like, have they been caring because it's John Cena versus Roman Reigns, or have they been caring because Roman Reigns is holding his own, or is it just because it's John Cena?
I mean, I'm caring because they actually have built up some decent matches finally, and are giving them time to build instead of the few, like, the 6 days before No Mercy. It's like, okay, here's all of our matches. And it's like, we knew Braun versus Brock was happening, like, basically right after SummerSlam.
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, it's like, I like build. It's like, I would like more build, honestly. I mean, I wish there was less pay-per-views, but I know that's a pipe dream.
Oh, yeah. They want that money. That's what they're there for. But speaking of No Mercy, we got another, since we're talking about matches built up for No Mercy, we got one coming up that happened. I don't know how I feel about this. And honestly, I got to realize that it's okay to not know how you feel about something in the moment. And right now, I don't know how I feel about Enzo Amore hopping on 205 Live, like, and within 2-3 weeks already having a number one contendership for the Cruiserweight title, especially when it's the face of a 5-man elimination match with some of the best Cruiserweight talents there. Not only that, but we have, this is why I hate my brain. I know his name, and it's stuck on me. You know who I'm talking about. He was in the. See, I'm feeling like an idiot right now, so I actually have to re-look it up real quick. Give me 1 second.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine letting you do this to yourself.
Yeah, I'm doing this to myself right now.
That's kind of cruel. Like, yeah, I get it, but don't, like, call it out.
No,
imagine my foot tapping right now, D.
I know the name, but it's stuck on the very tip of my tongue.
I'm sorry, listeners.
I don't want to call it out right now. I don't want to call it out right now. I really don't.
What I do is I think of the
Cedric
name.
Alexander.
Right?
God damn it,
Cedric.
By the way, we are highly professional. We're doing this for a living.
The most professionalist.
We are the most professional podcast you will ever get. And I forget people's names at the drop of a hat. And I apologize. Seti, I actually do love you. I follow your work. I've been with you since Ring of Honor, man. I love you, boo. And I forgot your name. So I apologize. But anyway, Cedric Alexander dominated throughout the whole damn elimination match, eliminating Kendrick, Grand Metalik, and Tony Nese in great fashion, putting on some work. I'm waiting for him to actually get a spot and get a chance to run with the title. Hopefully he will soon.
That would be decent.
It would be, but ends up getting rolled up by Enzo. Enzo pulls the tights, gets the win, and now he has a match in No Mercy against Neville. And again, I don't know how I feel about Enzo being in that spot, especially when you have some people who've been putting in the work at 205 Live and showing some great and amazing talent. I don't know what to think about this match in general.
I mean, as much as I hate or don't care for, I'm not going to say hate, as much as I don't care for Enzo's quote-unquote wrestling ability, I think it brings attention to the Cruiserweight division that it was sorely lacking. I mean, it's like, the match was amazing. Like, that whole match was just astounding. I mean, even Enzo's moments in there were entertaining, and he serves a good purpose of being, like, that character that's supposed to be a face, but isn't above, like, doing questionable actions to get what he wants. And it's like,
when have you ever heard something like that going down in a wrestling match in recent memory,
Yeah. I mean, I like that he's playing, like, he's supposed to be a face. He acts like a face, but he's doing all these dastardly heel things, like, the eye poking, the grabbing of the tights to win, but, like, playing it off. It's like, you do what you got to do. And it's like, that's not a bad angle, and it makes things kind of interesting. Do I want him beating Neville? God, no. But at the same time, I mean, this is basically like, our chance to see, Enzo suplex to hell and back in a match, and I don't think anyone has a problem with that.
Not at all.
Now, Mage, you did bring up a point that, when was the last time you saw this? And the only person I could really think of was Bo Dallas during his I'm a face but not really run. The only difference is the crowd never got behind Bo. Like, right. he was considering himself to be the face. He was running around saying he's a face, but he was doing all the heel stuff and the crowd hated him. Versus Enzo, who's doing the exact same thing, but everybody loves him. Well, not everybody, because, he's still Enzo. But
well, you know what? I used to like Enzo. I'm kind of losing that like for him.
It's weird though, because like you're not liking him nearly as much, but since he's been on 205 Live, he's had to straight up show much more ability in the ring than he's used to, because he's not being protected, quote unquote, by Big Cass being there and being the hot tag, where he just, like, Enzo gets beat to hell and Cass comes in, saves the day, gets the final rush and gets the pin.
But I do have a question.
Go for it.
How the hell did he win to go for the title win? How? Please explain. Anybody.
He rolled up and grabbed the tights. He just rolled them up and grabbed it. He's a heel face. He's a tweener.
No, it should have went to Cedric Alexander.
You know what? I'm mad at you.
We all saw that.
I'm mad at you. You left me, and I was sitting here floundering, and I could not remember his name, and you just walked out of here.
Oh my no!
You walked out of here and had his name committed to your memory, and my memory is shot.
I love him.
I love him too, but I forgot his name.
I think one of you loves him more.
Danny?
Daniel loves him more.
Danny.
Not touching this with a 39.5-foot pole.
Eat your heart out, Thurl Ravenscroft.
There you go.
But as KD did say, this is a chance for us to watch Enzo get suplexed to hell and back, and not actually have to worry about some big dude doing it. So, like, at least we know that he won't break as easily with Neville doing it, but it'll probably be more vicious.
I think he's going to win the title, though.
I don't think he is, and I think Neville is severely, annoyed, and
I hope
considers
so.
it disgraceful that the fact that he even has to go against Enzo.
Thank
which
you.
at the same time
just
could make him
me.
incredibly sloppy in this match, thinking like, why am I wasting my time with this chump? Which, could play into whole Enzo's, eye poking, tights grabbing ways, but who knows?
You can make something happen with it, but it's just the whole thing just depends on the outcome of the match. Whether or not he wants to continue his little tweener shtick or whether he goes down clean. Everything is up in the air, and that's what I think is causing all this hesitancy.
I completely agree with you because that's my thought.
Here's my thing. I will die if Enzo gets into that ring, does his little shtick, and all of a sudden shows that he's actually a mat genius, and he starts putting holds on Neville like you wouldn't expect. If that starts happening,
more, though.
I would not. I'd be mad. It's like you sitting here letting Cass do all the work, you getting injured, getting concussions, and you could actually wrestle?
It's like you let us on, you son of a bitch.
Like, logically, that would fall apart so hard. Because it's like, you were playing the really long game, Enzo? You're playing like the 4-year long game, so you get one win?
Hey, but here's the thing.
Enzo got 8 concussions. Enzo greased himself up in a steel cage just so he could get this one win.
You're like Roman Reigns.
Oh, God.
His hair will be greased.
Oh, God.
Dripping
oil. Now, here's the thing, though. If Enzo does get this win, out of the two in that tag team, he'll be the first one of the two to actually win major gold.
Jesus.
Because they never won the NXT titles. They never won any tag titles on the main roster. If Enzo wins this, it's Enzo that gets major gold first, ahead of Big Cass.
Oh my God.
That's a sobering thought indeed.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Speaking of gold, let's move on to our next topic. Asuka had to give up her title on NXT, and everybody cried. I don't care. It wasn't dust in your eye. You cried.
Especially when Ember Moon went in the ring. I was done. I was done.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, I was in tears. Because when everybody lined up to applaud her, I was like, where's Ember Moon?
Yeah.
Not kidding you. As soon as I said that, she walked down the ramp, hugged Asuka. I was done.
She walked a little 4'6" self down the ramp.
Yep.
It was amazing. I mean, like, we've had NXT graduations before, but nothing like this where it's like she was like, I mean, no one is ready for Asuka, but at the same time, it took an injury to end her streak. And it was never ended, technically.
Yeah, the streak is still alive.
She relinquished the title. That's all that happened. She never lost.
Yeah. So my question is, how do they address the women's title from here on out? Do you expect there to be like a little mini tournament, or
honestly, I think there'll be a tournament on NXT, and it's like the honor should go to whoever wins the Mae Young Classic, who should be their competitor. I don't think the Mae Young Classic winner should be the title winner because they haven't earned it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think they should be taken into consideration for whoever is going to be challenging for the title next.
So my question would be this. How do you feel about there being a tournament on NXT and the winner of the Mae Young Classic becomes the number one contender for whoever wins it?
I'm fine with that.
That sounds like a pretty solid alternative.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than like
de facto, kind of installation, as it were, Yeah.
Yeah.
See, back in the day when it came to women's wrestling, like, early 2000s, they probably would have just had some battle royale and not even a over the top rope battle royale. It was just like, if you get out the ring, you lose.
Yeah.
They'd have just some battle royale and just be like, boom, there you go, you win. And that's it. But like, they've taken more care with women's wrestling than they used to.
Which is a good thing.
Oh yeah, it's the product has been better for it. Wrestling in general has been better for it. But since we're on the topic of women's wrestling, I kind of need to divert a little bit. I know we got our minutes and everything, but I got some notes from the Mae Young Classic, and the one person I really want to talk about during all of this is my girl,
Bianca Del Rio.
Belair.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
It's your turn now. You're messing up now. I ain't in trouble now.
We're a very professional podcast.
We're very professional.
That's Steve's real voice, just so you guys know. Whenever he's not recording, that's what we get 100% of the time.
Bruh.
You're terrible.
First it was the short jokes last week, and now it's this. Danny, you're acting up. You're acting up. But I'm going to keep you. But yeah, we had a great match, a great match between Bianca Belair and Kairi Sane. It was actually on the first batch of episodes that they put up on September 4th for the Mae Young Classic. And honestly, I got to say it was probably the match of, I won't say the match of the tournament, but definitely one of the top three. Definitely. Because you have Bianca Belair, who is not nearly as seasoned as many of the other competitors, people who've been traveled for years and years. But
she has 1 year under her belt, and this is her like basically third appearance on TV.
Yes.
Less than a year, and she's only been on TV 3 times, I think.
Yeah.
And they're like, most of them has been during this tournament. But she
she had 1 match on NXT and 2 matches in the tournament. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all she's had on television.
Goodness gracious.
It's crazy. Bianca showed me that it's not just athletic talent. She's gotten spades. There's a reason why they call her the EST. She says, what she say? She's the biggest, the fastest, the
strongest.
The strongest. She is the EST.
Yeah.
And I love that, by the way. Like,
oh, it's a great catchphrase. Like, especially when she explained it, I was like, wow, that's actually really cool.
Yeah.
What does it stand for?
And the whole attitude and everything she's got,
It's
like,
true
she
to her.
understands it.
Yes.
Yeah, she's not playing a character. That feels like it's her.
Like, I have to say, she's kind of feeling, to me, she might end up turning out to be like the Venus or Serena Williams of women's wrestling right about now.
Wait a minute.
That's
you
a good analogy.
You say the Venus or Serena?
Yeah,
Either one.
Because there's a big difference between those two.
Yeah, I mean, Serena's kind of the good one.
There's Serena. There's Serena.
I mean, they're both good.
Serena's the good one, though.
I mean, like, all right. Like, Serena is Austin. Venus is like Mick Foley.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing, though. Like, if you come out of your wrestling career being either referred to as Austin or Mick Foley, I think you're good.
I know. I'm just saying, like, when you say, like, she's going to be either the Venus or Serena.
Yeah, because I'm taking into account the chasm of talent between those two.
No, hot take. Do a hot take.
That's a hot take.
Do a hot take right now. You have to pick one. Which one's she going to be?
If I had to choose,
Serena.
If I had to choose, she might end up
keep expectations low, or is she going to say she's going to be the greatest women's wrestler of all time?
I can't say greatest yet because I don't know how they're going to handle her. I don't even know if she's going to end up with.
Let's see how hot this take gets.
But if I had to choose based upon WWE's track record, Venus.
When you boo. I wanted you to go super hot.
Yeah, but
I wanted you to when you edited this episode.
Her versus Chrysane. Like her versus Chrysane, when she grabs her own hair and whips the hell out of Karai, I was
her
screaming.
Like a literal rented mule.
Like that sound when she is just whipping her with her own hair, and the ref can't do anything because it's not a foreign object.
No.
All he can do is count to 5.
And that crowd was going nuts when that hair was just being like assaulting her.
And it wasn't even a limp and impotent sound. Like it was.
No, it was a snap. That was a whip crack. And I was like just screaming. It's like, oh my god, I want her to win.
Yeah, I
hate her for being so awful to our pirate queen, but I want her to win.
Oh my god.
It's like I have never been that conflicted in a match in my life.
Yes, we all were. I think we all were. Because I was like, yay, go Bianca. And then I was like, yay, go Say. And then I was like, oh, God, what am I doing?
No, don't hit her with your hair. That's an awful thing to do.
But it's an awesome thing to do.
It was so awesome. Like, that crowd was freaking out over that.
Yes.
And the way she holds her hair, like she just does that thing where she's holding it and spinning it in her hand. I love that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like the most unique look we have, and it's just driving me nuts. And she can do a 450
effortlessly.
Perfect.
Effortlessly.
It was.
Oh my
perfect.
god.
It was perfect.
Like, and she's spinning. The hair is spinning. It's like, wow, this like she has it. Like she has it down. Like she has it, as Chris Jericho would say.
She is the EST. She might end up being the EST of the women's division.
Yes.
Sometime down the line, as long as they allow her to continue to be who she is.
Yeah, I mean NXT is going to be like a perfect home for her. It's like,
yeah.
Give her time to develop. Give her give her that mic time. Give her time to grow. I mean, it's like she's like a legendary heel in the making if they run with it.
Oh yeah, and I would love to see her wrestle Ember Moon.
Oh,
that would be a brutal match. Like especially because. Like, the problem with, like, WWE's training center is, like, you don't get too many hard hitters. She is a hard hitter. She went toe-to-toe with Christ Sane, who is, like, the hardest of hard hitters.
Yeah, and didn't
she
feel
held
like
her own against her, too.
It did not feel like she didn't belong.
Nope.
No, she, like, just felt like one of those naturals. Like, it was basically a Kurt Angle situation where it felt like she belonged from the get-go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's I have never been that motivated by new talent in my life.
Yeah.
She ended up making me really, really enjoy, even though she was in the first episode of the Final Four match on the WWE Network. She still made me feel hyped for the rest of the tournament, and she got eliminated.
Oh God, that's what drove me nuts. Between her and Jazzy Gabbert, my heart was broken twice.
Yeah,
there's a lot of great talent in this tournament. So if you're listening to this and you haven't seen the Mae Young Classic and you haven't seen the final results, which are going to come on Tuesday.
Yep, the finals are Tuesday.
205 Live. So I don't know if 205 Live is actually airing. I think they're getting.
No, it is not. There's no 205. It's going to be it's the Mae Young Classic finals that night.
Yeah,
so.
And that's going to be live.
Yes.
No taping. That's straight up live. So go ahead and catch that. But if you haven't, if between now and then, finish up the Mae Young Classic. If you haven't, it's great. It's amazing. Women's wrestling. I love it. She loves it. Everybody here at HEELKAIJU loves it. Danny, don't give me
honestly,
a take about women's
no,
wrestling.
honestly, that's great news. That's really like amazing news. No 205 Live.
Don't hate on the flippy flippers.
No Enzo. Oh no, we're just gonna get Enzo on like more on Raw or SmackDown.
Oh no.
Yeah, they're gonna put all the 205 Live on Raw and SmackDown. Dear God.
A 4-hour Raw to make up for it.
I'm not gonna have any energy left for this live.
But speaking of your hot takes, Danny.
Oh no, don't put me on the spot here.
Oh, I'm putting you right on the spot. How do you feel about Cody Rhodes?
Oh God, don't do this to me.
Baby, what is you doing?
I thought, oh no, baby. I thought we were skipping this one.
Nope. We got time now.
I think Cody is thoroughly mediocre. I don't get excited by anything Cody does. I think his match with Okada was like not even really good. And if you can have a good match with Okada, I'm just like, yeah. He's funny on the Being the Elite series, but that's about it.
Okay. Well, that's Danny's take on it, just to show you that we have.
That was a very random segment.
We're not done with it. We're still going to talk about it.
I thought that you were just wrapping it up there. Like, well, yeah, that's Danny's thoughts on Cody Rhodes.
No, I'm throwing you under the bus. We're going to talk about what Cody Rhodes.
We're going to have many viewers. We're going to have many viewers that agree with me.
Possibly, because I can understand how you feel that way. I really can. I enjoy Cody because I'm a very stick it to the man kind of guy. And bruh, man, since he's left since last May, he's forged his own path. And honestly, it's one of those situations where no matter how you do feel about his in-ring work or even his mic work, he's handling his business by himself.
Yes, Cody, the underdog we can all get behind.
I mean, yeah,
I know.
I really can't say
son of one of the most successful wrestlers of all time, Cody Rhodes, had it tough from the beginning, sticking it to the man. He's done it all. He's done it all by himself.
You pull that out to its logical conclusion, man.
Continue your hot takes, man.
I'm done.
But no,
the worst son of Dusty Rhodes, way worse than Goldust, Cody Rhodes.
Wow,
that's not even
hot.
Come
take.
On, that's not hot. Goldust is great.
That is a hot take.
I mean, Goldust is kind of legendary.
Goldust is amazing.
Not in hot take territory here, guys. We are in nuclear.
That's not even nuclear.
I mean, he's not wrong, though. I mean, Goldust has been like a multiple-time champion. He had memorable storylines. What has Cody done?
Yeah, and honestly, all of Cody's good moves are just things Goldust does better.
Damn.
I mean, he's not wrong. Goldust does have the better personality.
Goldust
does have the better personality. Goldust has a better WWE personality, but ever since Cody left, he's developed a personality. Come on.
I mean, Cody's basically like, Southpaw Wrestling Federation champion John Johnson's personality.
Are you guys ready for that? Put some mother in respect on Goldust's name.
I respect the hell out of Goldust.
Put some damn respect on his name.
I'm not going to go as far as saying that Cody is the worst of the two.
Yeah, he is. It's not even a debate. Goldust has done so much. Oh man, I love Goldust.
I love you.
And Goldust is still good now. He could still put on good shit.
Is.
Fine, Danny. You've apparently swayed the rest of the call into saying Cody sucks, Goldust rules. And here, this whole segment was supposed to be me praising Cody for the work that he's done outside of WWE without any influence from WWE, rejuvenating and making himself a hot commodity in the wrestling world today, which he has. You cannot deny that.
Nope, he has.
But he's still Cody, though. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't feel like there's been an evolution of his character or anything no AJ Styles leveling up where he took a good base and just improved it to the point where everyone in the world had to take notice.
Yeah.
Like Cody just feels like Cody's still, bitter about WWE now.
Yeah.
I still love me some Cody. Forget all y'all. Cody is bae. And we're going to end that segment. We're going to end that segment right there. We ain't going to talk about this no more.
We just hijacked the call. We did it, guys.
Mutinized everything, damn it.
The call is coming from inside the call.
From inside the call.
Ultimate recursion.
Y'all gonna do me like I'm sitting here thinking like, yeah, I got a good segment right here. It's like, nope, I'm a hate all along Cody Rhodes. And then everybody gonna join in. That's what made it bad. I expected this out of you, Danny. But KD, you're our hero. Everybody else here are heroes.
Oh, come on. Stop it.
We raising the cities to the ground, and here you are, supposed to be the hero in a domino mask and everything. But no, you're like, nah, man, fuck Cody too.
Well, I like Cody, but Goldust is just Goldust. I mean, it's hard to compare the two.
Heroes care about the truth, D.
Our truth.
What's the...
Oh, really?
The golden truth?
Moving on. You either die a face or see yourself come a heel, and that's what's happening.
Y'all remember when Pac-Man Jones went to TNA and teamed up with R-Truth?
Oh God, we're definitely leaving now. On to the next segment. Because nobody. Here's the thing: GFW now has. That's not a segment. This is a segue a little bit. GFW now is setting up their networking competition with WWE Network and New Japan Network, and it's going to have a lot of the old matches from TNA. So you do get to see Pac-Man Jones team up with R-Truth, but at the same time, you have to see Pac-Man Jones team up with R-Truth.
Oh, what a classic match! It was.
And I remember when Tito Ortiz came to TNA.
Guys, if none of you have ever seen when Tito's revealed as the Mystery Man, you have to go see it.
Oh my God! That
produced, I'm not gonna lie. It produced a top 5 GIF in wrestling history. Top 5. Tito comes out. they're like, "Oh my God, it's Tito! He's the masked man." The crowd just doesn't react at all, and Tito's standing there because Tito is the most awkward he's the most awkward dumb dude in the history of fighting, and you have like Ken Anderson like grabbing his head like, "Oh no, not Tito."
That was like the epitome of the crowd goes mild.
His music is so funny too. It's just like random random,
nobody cared. Like, good luck if anyone even knew who he was.
Yeah, nobody gave a damn. Like, literally, I was watching it too, and it's like, it's Tito Ortiz, and even I'm like, who? Why should I care about this fool?
Yeah, honestly, there are a lot of like Tito things I could recommend. There's so many good things, but definitely like look up on YouTube Tito Ortiz reveal TNA, and it's great.
Like that crowd is so dead. I was laughing.
Well, you can find it on YouTube, or you could wait until GFW Network drops. Which, by the way,
it doesn't die before they actually do that.
Yeah, if it doesn't die, because already they're saying that they might not actually have rights to the GFW name.
Is this like GFW Death Watch? I don't know, 3 in 2017.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that company, but moving right along. So as we said, like the past 2 episodes, I want to say we talked about WWE 2K18. The roster that is on disc has been finalized. There's no word yet for DLC. You know there will be DLC. It'll be some legends, probably a few straggling superstars that we missed out. But I do have the full list of wrestlers and talent that are not on disc on the game. Y'all ready for it?
Yeah, sure.
All right, for Raw, we are missing Elias Sampson, the Drifter, and the Hardy Boys. On SmackDown Live, this one might be a long shot, James Ellsworth, but we're missing James Ellsworth, Lana, Mike and Maria Kanellis, Shelton Benjamin, and the Singh brothers. Out of 205 Live, they're missing Arya Daivari, Drew Gulak, Lindsay Dorado, Mustafa Ali, and Tony Nese. From NXT, we're missing Adam Cole, Aleister Black, Andrade Cien Almas, the Street Profits. Damn. Bruh, I'm tired.
We'll fix it in post.
Let me get through this. The Street Profits, Bobby Fish, Drew McIntyre, Kyle O'Reilly, Lars Sullivan, Liv Morgan, Heavy Machinery, Ruby Riott, Sonya Deville, The Velveteen Dream, and Zelina Vega. And out of the United Kingdom tournament is Pete Dunne, Tyler Bate, Trent Seven, Wolfgang, Mark Andrews, and Joseph Connors. So by my calculations, it's about 37 superstars that are not included in the game. Some of these were formed and featured within the past 6 months. So of course you're gonna have some people who are outside of the cutoff date. But also there have been rumblings about some members of the UK tournament being in the game or being scanned into the game. You gotta know that the Hardy Boys have got to be in the game. But like out of that list, who are you the most disappointed about hearing?
I'm not really disappointed about any of them because I understand all of I understand all of them. And I assume that we're going to just get them in DLC at a later date.
Now, before you rest on your laurels there, Danny, let me see if I catch you up on this one, since apparently you don't crap all over Cody Rhodes. Now, in 2K15, I believe it was, people assumed that would be the case for Bayley, Charlotte, Sasha Banks, and Becky Lynch. And they were not in DLC. Now, that could happen again where they miss out on some very, very important people. But then again, to argue against myself, in 2K16, they did a better job of making sure that the roster was as close to perfect as they possibly could. So there might end up being a lot of DLC coming out, and these guys might be in there. But since you're not disappointed by hearing any names, I just want to know, like, who would you want to play as in one?
Out of all of them?
Yeah.
Probably the United Kingdom guys for sure.
Yeah,
I think that'd be interesting. I would most be into them being in the game if I had to pick like one of the groups. United Kingdom guys for sure.
Okay. Honestly, that their inclusion would make for a much more rich universe mode.
Oh, and the Singh brothers, because if you pair them up with Jinder, his overall goes up to 100.
Just becomes unbeatable, kicks out at 1.
Yeah.
I mean, I want Aleister Black in there for his entrance.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
that's cool. And his kicks.
I want
and his
him in
kick.
there.
Oh, God, that kick. That
Oh,
Black
because
Mass
they'll
kick
probably update the move set because he has so many kicks.
Yeah. Can he kick
But also,
it? Yes,
I
he
mean,
can.
the glory of like the WWE 2K community just uploading all these guys and creating them within a week.
Yeah.
And they're all pretty good no matter what.
Oh yeah. Honestly, okay, so I made my complaints last week about the pre-order, right? So I have the PC and the PS4 version of the games because I tried to do some editing and this, that, and the other. I got mad. Why did you get mad, D? I'll tell you why I got mad.
Oh Jesus.
Invisible voice in my head. So I spent hours making perfect, and when I say perfect, I'm not tooting my own fucking horn. Perfect replicas of the Raw and SmackDown tag titles and the Universal title and the SmackDown women's title. Perfect replicas.
Wow.
It would not let on either system would not let me upload them. I'm talking, I found the perfect front on images of these things, started cutting out areas to make sure that they looked as close to perfect with the right amount of gloss on them to make them look like an actual title belt, not like somebody just pasted on paper on these belts. Like I made it look like G'd up. Could not upload them.
No.
And I felt sad. It actually made me not pick up the game for about a month because I got so bad.
Oh, I can believe it. It's crashing.
Oh,
when you like have that thing that you just can't pull off in a game or whatever, you know?
Oh my God. Like I got so mad that I actually compared it to the people who had the top downloads. And I'm like, mine is better. Mine is so much better. But I couldn't put them up. So we have to deal with that. But this time around, there's fewer blind spots in this game. You got all the titles up there, unless they make any changes to the IC title, as has been rumored for the past few months. Every title is up to date. Every tag team is somewhat up to date. I don't know about Big Cass Enzo, but they've been doing a good job of never having Enzo show up on the screenshots with Big Cass. So who knows?
Yeah.
So aside from this list of 37, which you know for a fact is going to be uploaded onto the character creation suite, and honestly, I gotta say, out of all of the gaming communities that I've ever experienced in my life, the WWE 2K community is probably one of the best, if not the best, at providing extra content that the game lacks. To the point where, for a while, people were treating that as basically a downside to the game creators themselves, because it felt like they could just rest on their laurels.
Yeah,
I knew that the community would come up with the rest. But so far, I'm not getting that sense from them. Even though we are missing characters, but you always knew that you were going to miss a few. And 37 out of I think that the final number was damn near 200. I think 174 or something like that. It was a hell of a lot of people. So 37 out of, and you get 174, and a lot of them are up to date, and it's enough to populate your list and get all that you want. I'd say that's a pretty okay trade-off, especially since some of them just showed up within the past few weeks. I'm okay with that. I'm not feeling too bad. So we'll and see what else they come up with. I'm hoping that they put up some gameplay footage. Keep an eye out on our Twitter page, because I'm going to be retweeting and post and signal boosting as many of those posts as I possibly can if they do come out. Because I got to also say that the content creators on YouTube for WWE 2K as a community, as a gaming community, is top notch. They managed to hit all the notes and keep you engaged, and keep you up to date. So here's hoping. So that
praying and wishing, man.
Yeah, that little bit of long-winded leads us up to our final topic of tonight. Let's power through this because I haven't seen it yet. The new BoJack Horseman dropped this past Friday, and we've been out of town since. And I'm hearing that it's amazing, and it's heart-wrenching, and it sucks, and it rocks. So, have y'all seen?
I don't know if the deep breath that I just took translated through the recording, but I have thoughts about BoJack Horseman. I've mostly stayed away from it, in fact, because of the fact that it's amazing and heart-wrenching and all that, and I think it hits too close to home on its target. I think it's too on the nose with how it portrays everybody as, while realistic people, they're also pretty horrible people. There's an underlying cynicism underneath it all that doesn't endear itself well to me, but that's because I'm mostly a positivist, a humanist, and I generally like to think the better of people as opposed to the worst. I think that ethos just runs through the entirety of the show, and it makes it very hard for me to get into, and it makes it hard for a lot of people, I think, to really be able to stomach it all in one sitting.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing I've seen a lot, that people really just can't get into it. And there's nobody saying like it's a bad show. Just like,
no. I'm
Yeah,
never going to harp on it for its creative merits and for depicting the things that it does. I absolutely credit it for it, but that's also the double-edged blade here. That's why I can't get into it.
Yeah, like I've seen a lot of people tweeting like recently, like everyone's telling me to watch BoJack Horseman. I only respond, why? Like, why would I want to watch this show? And another guy tweeted, he goes, I forget what he said. He was like, so yeah, I finally watched that show, BoJack Horseman, everyone's telling me about, and fuck you all. Personally, like, I completely understand that point of view. I love the show, but I'm also the kind of person that, like, when I'm really depressed, I'll find the most depressing song I know and listen to it, because I'm just like, this is a good idea. Yeah, like, my favorite genres of music are pretty much like emo and like country, which are the two fucking saddest genres in the whole world.
Give me the green light.
And Green Light, yeah. And just the entire song Green Light is my third favorite. The emotions that Pitbull manages to portray in Green Light are amazing.
Yes.
Because, like, it's honestly a song about, being bipolar. And, he's having the green light right now, but when that red light comes along, that's the sequel, the red light. Pitbull's going to come out with it in a couple months.
Oh, God.
Waiting for it.
Man.
But you're not too different from myself in that regard, at least when it comes to, like, when I'm in my deep depressive state, I gotta listen to, like, my one go-to song in my depression playlist is I want to say Suicidal Thoughts by Biggie.
It's a good
when
one.
I die, fuck it, I want to go to hell because I'm a piece of shit. It ain't hard to fucking tell. Like, yeah, I recite that with me, and hit every note and put that on repeat as I'm driving. And I don't know if it doesn't really pull me out, but it definitely levels me off, because it's giving me something to emote with. And during a time when all of my emotions are going wild and crazy, sometimes it's what I need. And honestly, that's the reason why, as you say, the reason why I do like BoJack is because it's really does a good job of portraying something in a way that makes me feel not so alone in my own head.
Mm-hmm. And definitely fair.
Yeah. So that's where I am with it, and I haven't seen it, but I want to.
It's a show about a really depressed person who just keeps doing this shit to themselves. There are opportunities for them to do the right thing. They just don't take it. And I can imagine it can be incredibly frustrating to watch that. Like there have been episodes of this show where it's just like, I'll be like just broken down after I see it.
Oh God.
Like,
yeah. The season 1 finale of BoJack broke me.
I think if you're not like if you don't really relate to BoJack himself, you're probably just gonna like find him incredibly fucking unlikable, and he is like really unlikable. Yeah, but it's like an unlikability that's like you at your worst, you can be like BoJack, and
it's still rooted in its humanity.
Like it's
despite the fact that the titular protagonist is a horseman.
Yeah, it is also just hilarious. It is a hilarious show. There's one episode in the I think it's the second season where Mr. Peanut Butter has a game show about celebrities celebrities that know things.
Show.
It is one of the funniest episodes of the show I've ever seen, and it's actually immediately before maybe the saddest episode of the show. So
yes. Oh God, that show just like takes you all over the emotional spectrum.
If you're gonna
highs and really low lows.
Yes.
If you're going to give BoJack a shot, you have to get through the first few episodes of season 1. It's like by far the worst part of the whole show. It's like you're watching.
Yeah, you can't just watch like one episode. You need to basically watch about half of season 1 to understand what you're getting yourself into.
Get you some Pop Secret, curl up with a blanket, put the fan on, do whatever you can to get comfortable, and just binge that shit.
It's honestly
not. You'll feel better for it.
Season 1, I had to like basically nurse on because it's like I watched it like when the Christmas episode came out. It's like, oh God, I only have 13 episodes of this. I can't watch them all at once. I had to basically extend it out over like I think I made it 8 days before it's like I can't do this. I gotta watch all of them, and I just plowed through all the rest.
Yeah, man, it's like the final stretch of season 1 and everything after it is all like amazing. It's really good. But like I said, if you're feeling like really depressed and something like really hopeless isn't going to be good for you, maybe don't watch it when you're like extremely depressed, you know?
Yeah.
Like for me, I've always just done that anyway, but for a lot of people it can really like fuck with them. And I wouldn't want anyone to like watch something that's like just incredibly hopeless when you're looking for something to cheer you up, because it sets you up like it's going to cheer you up, but very rarely does, you know?
That precise thing happened to me with, this is actually a surprisingly likely culprit. When the second episode of the new Samurai Jack season dropped, Jack has a prolonged experience talking with a specter of his former self. And it hit me like a hammer blow. Aren't you tired? And I absolutely recoiled from the screen and fled it in terror, because it so perfectly encapsulated the mindset that I was in at that very moment. It was too real. And, you know, that's one of the things I worry about with BoJack, is that in dealing with these things, it isn't always done with the grace and tact sometimes necessary to keep people from reliving those impulses or even acting on them.
Right.
Goodness forbid.
Yeah, it's a tough show. I mean, I remember towards the end of season 1, what was it, like the second to last or the last episode, when BoJack, I mean, I hate getting into spoilers, but like there's this part where BoJack basically breaks down and is just shouting. It's like, tell me I'm a good person. I need to know if I'm a good person. I had to stop watching for a while actually, because that really hit hard. Like, the show does comedy great. I love the sight gags the show has. I love it's like Lowe's, but some sort of animal pun. It's like that's one of my favorite gags in the show. Like, it had to be like, I was pointed out to me afterwards, and I rewatched, and it's like, oh my God, I laughed about that for a while. It's like we what we do. And it's like, but like that episode just hit me so hard when he's just begging to know if he's a good person. And it's like, oh God, this is a lot of feelings I didn't need to be feeling right now.
Yeah, it really does hit home a lot. Like honestly, I have to, and I hate to say that, you know, BoJack, at least in the first two seasons, the first 2 seasons and a half, I could say, really felt like me in a way, where like he has all this talent, all the gifts that he has, but it's his own self that's getting in his own way. It's his issues with people, it's his issues with himself that are getting in the way, and it's squandering it. And like most of my 20s was felt just like that. It's like the last thing I wanted to hear, especially after, you know, my parents passed, was, you know, my relative thinking, my cousin going, it's like, I don't know what you're doing because you got all this talent and I don't know what you're doing. That's the last thing I needed to hear, you know, as I'm trying to figure out what's going on. And, you know, then this show comes on and it's basically the same thing, except somebody much later on in their life, but somebody who's already accomplished things. And they do still have the talent. They do still have the drive, but it's just themselves getting in the way. And every time that pops up, it doesn't feel nearly as uncomfortable. It feels more like a shot to the gut instead.
Right.
So, but anyway, as we said, BoJack Horseman dropped on Friday on Netflix, all 4 seasons up on there. Go ahead, give that a shot. If you have it, if you can stomach it, if you can get through it.
Yeah, honestly, like if you aren't like if you're feeling really bad and you don't think you could get through like a Joy Division album, like don't watch BoJack.
That's pretty apt.
Yeah.
On that note, we're gonna have to call it for tonight, guys. I want to thank y'all for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Great. Yeah, that was actually pretty great considering that we're in a hotel room filled with Floridians and dogs evacuating from a hurricane coming up and hitting, and like we're speaking into a webcam mic. I think that was a pretty good show.
Yeah,
I definitely agree. Although I think I started to hear a little bit of breakup just at the end. So,
oh yeah, we'll
as an advisement.
Yeah, we'll fix that in post. We're go ahead and fix that in post. I think we're going to be working on our ending, so we're not just ending so abruptly and just ending with bye. But I want to thank you all for listening in. As you know, we love and we respect all of our listeners and all the members of the Kaiju Wrecking Crew. As a reminder, you can catch our episodes on iTunes, or you can go to our website at HEELKAIJU.com, catch episodes, any of our articles that we put up on there. We also have a store link, so if you want to grab any merchandise, we're going to continue to add to our roster of shirts on there, so go ahead and give that a grab. Also, in any updates, any fan art that we're going to post on there, because we got some fan art for the first time. What?
That's amazing.
Anything that we're going to be posting on there will be on our Twitter page at HEELKAIJU. So go ahead, check it out. And I want to thank y'all once more for joining us. Y'all keep smashing. Deuces.
Bye.
Be easy, guys.
Peace out.